All right.
So probably like a left, like serratus anterior, shoulder, neck stuff, all my legs.
Okay, sounds good.
If you need me to move,
Okay. How do you feel temperature-wise?
fine.
Cool.
Had a moment where I was like, "Oh no, you're laying on the microphone." I'm like, you're not working, bro. You're receiving. You have no microphone.
It's picking you up loud and clear, though.
Yeah. I said we can alter. Like it's.
One of my colleagues came through that I went to massage school with, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
She was like, I need to, she came into town. She drove 5 hours and made a trip out of it to get a massage. Try the work, and she loved it. She was like, I'm going to have to get on those Thai jams. Like, yes, you are.
I have a weird relationship with Austin. I feel like people in Austin don't want it.
Mm-hmm. Which doesn't make any sense, seeing as though everyone from Austin hates everyone from California. Maybe that's just a front.
Like Austin therapists are gonna avoid it. So I'm essentially busy provided.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird business is shifting so much towards the digital thing. Like all I did was go, hey guys, let me do a quick interview to see up online. It was like 5 people.
That's
like,
awesome.
That's not even most of the people don't even know what I'm talking about. Not paying attention.
How's your neck been feeling? Neck and everything is good.
Yeah. Only like flare up is been having a little more sinus pressure, which I think is just from the rain.
Yeah, the mold.
Yeah, like
Dust.
the barometric pressure. I take Claritin regularly and then occasionally put naproxen on top if I'm starting to get it. It always feels like my sinus passages get a little inflamed. The rest of it, I haven't had any problems other than that time starch. Otherwise, I've been. How'd you feel about the jam last night?
Felt good. It's always funny going first, because when I'm going first, I'm just kind of like, okay, what are we doing? What do we have time? And it doesn't really flow correctly. Like, I realize that, like, the things I wish I'd done differently or whatever, and then Andrea goes and she kind of like gets to add on some stuff, and think it flows really nicely, but I'm looking forward to being number 2. Looking forward to being the second guy, because I'm like, I mean, I think I'm doing a fine job, you know, but it's easy just to kind of always be like, I could do it better.
Yeah. One of the things I do over time is watch the live stream and then your section in 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to it and think about like how you deliver things verbal.
Mm.
And over time, because you have this big piece of art, right?
Yeah.
You can like self-reflect on it. Oh man, I wish I had said it this way.
Yeah.
But then you make notes. The way that you get teach yourself how to teach.
Okay.
So
I'm hoping I said less this time.
okay, and then here's the preview, right? So the software I use for caption, I find an instance of I right click and remove all of them.
Thank God. I bet there's a lot of right clicks there.
But that's the edited version with the caption. So you have to watch the original live stream to see what the audio was exactly.
Uh-huh.
So it's not just filler words. What I have a tendency to do when I know that I'm on camera is I pause sometimes a little bit longer than feels comfortable. And I think about what I'm going to say. And that seems to be the right flow, like for me. So you'll get a chance to just reflect on like what you're doing. And it's not just movements or what you're visually. It's also how you're delivering it in language.
So I just realized that 2 of my cameras have the same view. 2 of my scenes are the same. Can I change it mid-stream or recording, or should I stop and start over? I know I need to go here.
No, hold on. I want to see what you got first.
One and 3 are the same.
Okay. So which one are you missing?
I'm missing this one.
Okay. Which one do you want that to be?
One.
One.
I go here.
See if you can switch it. Nope.
Boom. Fabulous. Woohoo!
Now switch and see what happens. Sometimes it ain't that seamless, but if it did, you're fine. You never stopped recording.
Beautiful.
So over time, you can, in essence, you can kind of perfect it. I can see from the first time to the second time, you guys were way less stress. It was like you kind of went, yeah, we'll do this, and then you kicked it off. And I was like,
Cool.
And then when it was done, you're like, hey, see you next week, man, whatever.
Yeah.
Just all ran away.
I had to last night because I had that late appointment, unfortunately,
but those little details will make a difference long term to the cuts that I make. It's not a thing where I want you to be judgmental of what you're teaching. You have a look at it, and it's like with all your social media output, all your video output, you're like, how can I make it better? So for me, it was like better cameras, better recording, better audio. And take the video, put captions on the video. All right, put graphics on the video. Put a social media share at the end of the video. All those things make it look more professional. Anything about the gym like not working for you, or now that you've done it twice?
No, I mean, I still wish it started at 7, but that's it. I think it's too early, but that's just me. Everything else seems to be perfect, you know.
In the beginning, not many people are going to 5 minutes.
Yeah. Like long term, if we could push it back an hour, that would be awesome. Just because then it makes like the day to where I can barely see any clients. You know what I mean? It's like I already have one day, so like I mean that's part of the reason why my schedule's filling up is because like say Friday we do our trade, Thursday I'm doing you know, every other Thursday I'm doing the tie jam, and then like say if I'm the other week I'm a you know body and a video, there's like 3 nights that are blocked, which is fine, you know. But I figured like if I didn't have to stop the day like at you know 3:30, 4:30, make it a little more useful. But you know it is what it is. I think everything else is smooth, you know. I think it's good the way that Andrea and I have like 2 different views on things. It's just kind of like, has she done any classes with you? I was like, how do you not know this move? We've done this over and over in class, I swear. You know?
That is
Yeah.
when people take a 3-day mat-based class with me, my hope is that they get a move or two out of those 3 days that goes into their.
Yeah.
In fact, for me to expect more is unreasonable.
Yeah. I mean, I even think that with her not even knowing how to do it was useful for learning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, okay, do you feel like you're reaching and it's kind of hurting? Yes. Okay, like face me. You do that. I just think the raw and realness of like how it's unscripted in a sense. You know, it's like kind of like where it's like, all right, what do you want to do? Okay, let's do that. You know. I feel like that. I don't know. I think it's really great, honestly, personally. I couldn't believe I was able to not have a coughing attack in the middle of it though. Like it hit me and I was like, I'm about to cough everywhere. Not in the middle of this life.
Sometimes those flaws make video.
I could tell that I flipped and Andrew was like looking at me like, are you okay? And so I just had to address it. I was like, yeah, I knew there's no way that I could hide my face from your cameras anyway.
For a lot of people, it means, oh my God, they're real.
Uh-huh.
And that's like, when Andrea doesn't know something, the audience doesn't know if she just like forgot her place, or she's never done that specific move, or can't remember what you did. Like, not learn about.
Mm-mm. Not at all. And it's been great seeing all the feedback. Like what that lady that was saying about how, you know, I fell asleep when they were giving to me. My son, look at his shoulder. You know, it's just like, yes. Heck yeah, you guys. I think it's cool. Were those all therapists, I'm guessing? They were commenting?
Ones that I saw.
Yeah. Have we gotten any feedback yet from people that are non-therapists?
No.
No?
But we're selling something they've never seen. And most of my social media goes at the therapist. There's only a part of the public joining it.
Yeah.
The difference is if we do it 100 times, it happens.
The public will catch on.
Based on what I've seen with the video production, we did 100 jams. I produced about 600 videos. You release that much footage, something ships. Either way, we figure out is this a money making proposition or
Yeah. Do you feel like when I speak that I just need to work on my vocabulary, or?
No. And I want to be clear. I'm not criticizing you at all.
Because one thing I noticed is that I'm like, I don't know, I guess when I'm doing the Thai jam, I'm like, I am aiming it at the people that aren't even probably there yet, the community, the people that don't know anatomy. So it's like when Andrea's like, and what is that muscle? I'm like, girl, I'm not even switching gears to try to remember the exact name of that muscle right this second. Like, I'm in the middle of trying to teach and keep my brain together. I was like, we'll look at the anatomy for that.
Thing is, it's more human. I do it all the time, and I go, what's that? That one on the.
I'm like, yeah, that one. Yeah, we're working on that one.
Or whatever. And the thing is, people actually, in my opinion, they relate to that.
Yeah.
It feels more human to them. And they sometimes respond more that than they do perfect instruction.
Yeah.
People do make judgments, but they make judgments based on, is the audio clear? They don't know they do this, by the way. Is the video clear? Whoa, they got graphics on the screen. Wow, they put anatomy up. How did they do that? Don't make judgments about how professional you are based on that. But you get a chance because you have access to the video, the raw footage. You can just listen to how you speak and make little small changes.
Did you notice the difference in the ums? Were there less ums this time, or no idea?
So my videos are loaded with them.
That was the first thing I noticed about like my first Thai jam. I was like, okay, well, I say far too much.
It's a filler word.
Yeah.
What you do is it feels weird
having silence
to take a longer pause.
Yeah.
But when you speak that way, it actually sounds better. It's like easier for people to follow. So I'm not criticizing at all. I just want you to watch the video and you'll notice it.
Okay.
It's not to judge yourself.
It's to improve.
Yeah. And it's a great teaching tool that way. Like, I work with you guys individually, as an apprenticeship. Even though I have a fiscal incentive, why am I doing the online apprenticeship?
Because it's easier. You can access more people from all across all different places.
Because I'm not limited by geography.
Yeah.
And here's what I'm freaking out. Okay, now if I can take a student in Iowa and never physically work on them, and then build their practice the way I'm working with you guys.
That is amazing.
What do you think is going to happen next?
Boom, you get
students from
all over the world.
Clamoring to get in, and I'm like, oh, wait.
One at a time, you guys.
Well, I'll have to figure it out because my business is shifting to that digital thing so heavily that I'm like, are these cameras going to overheat?
No.
Well, I just ran it 6 hours today.
One thing I've been doing in my sessions is I ask people, what is it that's bothering you? And then I kind of make them choose, like, okay, what is your 1, 2, 3? If they've got like 3 different areas, what is the number 1? What's the 2, 3? So I just kind of know how to split my time up.
Yeah.
And both my client last night and my last client today, like, I finished the session, 3-hour session last night, and he's like, oh, my shoulder's really the number 1. I'm like, well, funny, you told me it was number 2, so I focused on your knee, which was number 1. But it was in the end, he's like, no, it was number 1. I'm like, but it's hard to, it's like.
What I do is ask them, well, so what's bothering you? 9 times out of 10, they're going to bring up the biggest thing first.
So I do that, but then I always ask to specify, like, which one's the number 1, 2, 3, like, what's most important to you? Just to clarify, because I find that good communication is the most important thing, and just making sure they understand.
And sometimes we fall short, and sometimes they fall short.
Yeah. That's just part of me working on my stuff with not taking things personally, and like, it's like I gave a good massage, so I need to not let it bother me. I just feel bad. I'm like, damn,
I'm a horrible critic. I would not pay you, but in like your work. When I say I would pay for this, $240, here, whatever. To me, that means something. Now, the problem with clients is, and you're getting better at this, some of the clients are still just expecting a massage. You've moved beyond that a little bit.
Oh yeah. Today I had one of my clients that was like my last one to transfer over. I saw her in March and was just like, okay, this is the last table I'm doing for you. I'll help you find a new therapist that, you know, does table work if that's what you would like, but, you know, I'm selling my table, so this is it. And so finally she came in today and she was like, you were right. I didn't have any reason to be nervous. That was great. Yeah, I'll be back. Yeah, I loved that. So it was pretty cool because it was like, well, I knew you would, but, you know, even though you know, like you think you know they would, it's like until you hear that, you're like, oh, thank God.
It's just like when I talk about other teachers, not all students are going to relate to me.
Yeah.
Not all clients are going to relate to you.
Yeah.
That isn't a judgment about what we do or us personally.
Not everybody's going to like you. That's
It's
just the
like,
world.
Yeah. You really like, you know, deep compression. Some people are going to be like, well, I want effleurage.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty of places that you go get that. Oops. But is it something that we want to dedicate our time to?
No.
And I know that I didn't.
So we had one camera go down.
Trying to get it up.
Yeah. Cool. Back on. The cameras are testing me today. Like, now what's that? Huh, I don't know. Everything looks good here.
If people weren't rebooking and you weren't helping people, you weren't making money, then we got to change.
Yeah.
But
that's not the case.
But yeah, like, I think it's an abject failure to try to make a service that everybody.
Yeah.
We are fucking not McDonald's.
No.
And even if you came into the hamburger market right now, do you want to try to compete with McDonald's?
No way.
Or offer a
Offer something.
service with an artisanal burger? That's the conversation. Like when I talk about other educators, no, some people just like those teachers. They have an emotional resonance. It doesn't even have anything to do necessarily with curriculum. Like somebody came into the subscribers group, they posted a photo, and they're like, "Yo, look at what this did."
Yeah.
And I said, "Hey, how did he?" Like, oh, he was shoulder pain almost gone. He felt so much better. And I'm like, awesome. I didn't comment on the photo. I know that the postural assessment looks impressive in photos, but it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, especially if he doesn't feel better.
You know, it's like we'll have asymmetries and stuff, and it doesn't mean it necessarily causes pain. But then Rachel, because she's so heavily influenced by the pain science community, you know, wanted me to step in and correct it. And I'm like, she did great work and her son feels better. He's 17 years old and he's learning how to fucking work, and he's learning how to work on his mom.
Yeah.
Like, that is a win for society.
Yeah, it's a huge win.
Like,
stop focusing on the damn
He's never been to
science
massage school, and she's like, it's amazing, he's great.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have you go sideline.
Okay, to this side?
You said it was left side?
Yeah,
that bothers you?
side. So I'm on the right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the deal is, yeah, I'll continue updating what I do in terms of pain science,
And lift that leg up.
but I can't take a student and they're excited. I can't take that
No.
and say, well,
Why would you do that?
hold up to scientific. I'm like, no. Then she's just excited because her son felt better. That's all. We'll continue working on that part. I don't dig through especially students. Do I dig through their work and like root out?
Pick them apart.
Well, the thing. What if I had done that to you? I'm like, oh, it's okay.
That's discouraging.
It was okay, but you
feel unsupported.
Yeah. If I say, hey, listen, the session was great. My shoulder feels so much better. So you lead with a compliment, then you say, next time, could you use broader structures like earlier?
Yeah.
Because then it's like constructive criticism after I've complimented you. It is definitely like a flies with honey sort of situation. That's why the massage community doesn't like me, because they feel like I just shit on what they do. Well, I work on a table. He doesn't like what I do. Like, how many videos am I working on a table?
Very few, but there are some.
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. Let's look at my table footage compared to other educators' table footage, and let's total it up.
You definitely have more. You have more than they do. That's right.
Especially with students who have already bought in. These aren't people in random groups. These are people who are paying me for information. Like, the student has a win, rainbows, unicorns, rock out, rock star. Like, anything. I was nervous about doing a 2-hour, and oh my god, the 3-hour was amazing. And I'm like, yay, rainbows, unicorns, like, whatever it is. You're trying to celebrate their small wins.
You want them to feel successful.
Have successful.
I should have to take a sip of water, my bad. Is it warm in here to you, or are you comfortable?
I'm fine.
Cool.
So this is how I work. If I'm just starting to sweat, I feel like that's the right temperature. But that do you have to cover your clients up a lot? Do they get cold?
Probably 30% of the time. Okay. It just gets really hot in here to me, and I get hot. And I'm like, I'm sweaty. So and then I hate I hate this.
Why don't you have more fans, like circulating air?
Well, I'm gonna get a fan. I just have the one right now.
Yeah, you need something that's just. You got lights.
I'm actually gonna change this one to just stay in one place. Just hot. Yeah, this room is always it's interesting that the bedroom is so much cooler than the massage room.
All room.
And I mean, the bedroom is closer to the AC than
thermostat. So if you want to do the jam later, do you mean to try to set that up with Danielle? She's notoriously like me.
That'd be fabulous. I just wasn't sure if it would mess with people.
But this is why having Danielle on board is going to help, because I can do the jam with Andrea on a day and time, like Sunday 2 or something, that like works for her, and then have you and Danielle on like a later time.
That'd be awesome. I'd love that.
I just have to talk to Danielle about it
and see what works with her schedule.
As I'm starting to work with her, like I'm going to have to produce video footage for her.
How many kiddos does she have? 2?
2.
But both immune compromised type stuff?
No. I think her children are on the autism.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's considered autistic or.
But there might be just a little bit of extra time she and you know.
So she does best. I had to talk to her about this because if they're gonna apprentice with me, I need consistency.
Yeah.
It can't be like hit miss back and forth. Like it's got to be consistent. We might not have a completely set schedule, but like you're consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Andrea. I give her more leeway because like she's an hour away and she's got kids that are special needs.
Yeah.
But Danielle told me, she's like, nope. Once I schedule it, it's great. But she's like, but I have to schedule it. I can't
Same.
just improvise.
I mean, I could improvise, but scheduling it is definitely better.
Yeah, and it's all also for all of our schedules.
Yeah, there's just too many moving parts to not schedule.
If we souped up your computer, got you set up with camera, essentially the same setup I have.
Yes.
Could you see yourself running a time massage jam with just you and a friend you're working on,
Sure.
just for an hour?
Yeah.
You'd have
Absolutely.
to like teach twice, or get together with Danielle or Andrea or me.
No, I could totally do that.
But the difference is, we got to that point. It means you'd be certified to run a jam, but you're running the jam online, and then I'm taking that footage and probably post producing it, paying somebody to do it.
Yeah.
Because now you don't even have to come to my place. Now you're doing it from your place.
It would just have more jams a month, right? Is essentially what it would be?
Well, it would be your jam, so you could pick whatever schedule you wanted.
Mm. Yeah.
The difference is I'm trying to figure out if the time massage jam is like something we can do in a way that's lucrative. Like, you guys are interested in teaching, but that teaching is like just as much the public as it is therapist. So once we get you set up with the equipment and you're comfortable, we've got like a new thing. Like, for instance, you could do consults with people online. So clients are in pain, you help some lady in the, you could potentially charge for that. That's one factor. The other part is if you're interested in teaching other therapists, could you use the camera setup to actually do like the same kind of online consults
Yeah.
and teach that way? My bag in the deal or whatever is, if you were doing that and let's say you did that 4 times a month, would I be able to use that footage in the subscription?
Yeah.
Because I could take that footage and start slicing it up for your social media. I don't see any reason why not.
Yeah.
But you can see that the cameras are eating the business. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's completely shifting to this weird thing that I'm trying to figure out what to do.
Is it okay if I leave it open like this?
Yep.
Cool.
So,
Is it bothering you that I have that microphone against you?
nope.
Okay, good. I'll have to scoot up against.
The other thing is, like, if you can do it individually, it also, opens up the potential for you to do group class therapy.
Yeah.
And it's like we got to figure out, okay, is it sort of a standardized curriculum? Like, I think you saw the post where I posted what happened through
Uh-huh.
people's responses so far. I had some guy drilling me online because I think it was an Iowa group saying their state is allowing online CE now in a way that they weren't before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So they can get their CEs in online form. And I grabbed a playlist with like 5 different 2-hour free CE classes. The guy was like, just give NCB TMB credits? And I'm like, yes, for home study. He's like, wait, hold on. Does it actually include a quiz? I'm like, yes, per NCB TMB home study rules, there is a quiz after each 2-hour course. If you want to buy the full 6-hour course of each, you can, but these are the free versions. Different rules. So we did that course with you on Teachable eons ago. Why did you never share that?
I have shared it. Why was I so delayed in sharing it? I don't know. I'm a flippin' loser sometimes. I'm not really a loser.
Were you
but
afraid?
I mean, it's a little scary having judgment. Yeah.
You're afraid losers are going to judge you?
Yes.
Why are you worried about what losers?
I'm not worried anymore. Now I'm sending it everywhere.
Oh, okay.
I like send it to my clients. I'm actually adding it into my after the appointment email.
Thinking about that.
I love it. I'm going to share it on Facebook today. Ha! I don't really care what anyone thinks, you know what I mean? Like, it was a really great class we made. Really high quality videos. And a lot of people will benefit from it.
80% is good enough.
You feel it more like in here?
All the videos we were going to have undo. Telling you. There are going to be people. They're not going to be able to keep. $7 a month. Like I had to ask Jennifer earlier.
Mm-hmm. Brooks? Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why do you want individualized attention for $100 an hour when you can go into that vault, see everything I've.
What'd she say?
She's like, well, I just want my questions answered.
Oh.
She doesn't want to search. And I'm not saying she's not lazy. She's just like she's got kids and husband, and she's busy. And
she'd rather pay and get the information she wants, like
exactly
when she asks for it, or
it's
when
like, I've got workbooks and DVDs, got a subscription service, got a YouTube, out of this, out of that, but none of that is individualized in the same way. The apprenticeship is just she and I. You know for a fact you can come to me and go, I got a problem with technique, I got a problem with business, I got a problem with this, I got a problem with that. Emotionally, I'm not feeling it, Robert. What do I do? You know, you can come to me with all of that.
Yeah.
That's what they're paying for, is the individualized attention. And I go, good. I'll charge you $100 an hour, and all the footage is going back in the subscription. And what's going to happen is somebody somewhere, they love your work. Love Kristen. Love Kristen. Kristen's part of the vault. It's my favorite part of the whole vault.
Oh.
And they've told me that. And
That's
then
so
somebody's
nice.
going to see Jennifer Brooks stuff and be like, I like Jennifer Brooks. They relate to whatever Jennifer has questions about.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when I show it over 10 students, they get to pick the student that they like and dig into that section.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Because it's like sometimes when you read an Audible book, like I love reading Audible books, but if the author has an annoying voice, I'm like, I don't want to listen to you talk.
Hear it read by somebody else.
Yes, that's kind of like, essentially that's what you're doing. You're allowing there to be a different author, which all of us have our own little spin on things.
Yeah. Well, sometimes somebody have more questions about the table. Oh, great. I have more questions about the mat. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And what I'm excited about is their client, Steve, who has shoulder problems. And I go, Steve, what do you have problems with? And I'm like, well, I have pain. I'm like, okay, cool. Listen, Jennifer, put him on his side. Watch this. And I work on you and show her, and then I watch her do it. Then you hear Steve go, oh, right there. That's an amazing use of technology. Like, there is nobody who's doing what we're doing.
Nope.
It doesn't exist in our industry.
I'm gonna pause for 2 seconds. I don't know what that's about. Okay, I'm not interested. Thank you. Appreciate it. Very friendly bug guy. Okay, thanks. I don't want to kill the bugs. You want to know what I'm doing for bug killing? I am getting some bugs that eat other bugs. That's what I'm getting. I'm gonna get some praying mantis babies. So bad, I was very direct.
The way that the 6-hour live streams are going as well, most of them table, mat, and mat. So every one of them has a table component.
And how much is a 6-hour class?
$100.
Wow, that's cheap. What a deal. I bet you that gal I just worked with today would be interested in that. You can't beat that, you know what I mean? 6-hour class in your own house for $100.
We got to build the CE party.
I'm about it.
CE party. They're like, I don't understand. Like, you will.
Get your friends.
Let's
have a
them.
party.
Let's do 20 of them. See what happens. Got to build it.
Yeah. What causes the delay? The computer or the cameras?
So I'm honestly not sure. I suspect the computer has a large portion to do with it. Cameras are probably faster.
Has Josh responded about what specs I need yet?
He went out of town.
Oh.
He got a bad sunburn just before he left. So
before he left for Miami?
Yeah.
Oh God, because he Memorial Weekend or something.
Yeah, I think he went tubing or something.
Oh Josh, he's like, I'm in too much pain to talk computers right now.
Well,
Trying to vacay, okay?
Yeah, he was on me. He's like, man, you gotta work on that podcast. I'm like, gosh, let me get crackles up. Let me invite you on my shitty podcast.
Throughout it, that's what it was doing.
Yeah, well, because the audio was intermittently giving me problems, and now
Beautiful.
and I mean, I had to. The cameras are working almost flawless. Like I can't make those. Yeah, the audio is giving problems now. It looks like it's not giving me issues.
I'm so ready to mount my cameras. I'm gonna probably need your help on that. Because I don't know if I could do it by myself.
Screws and.
I mean, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try real hard. I just don't have any tools. You know, all those things are gonna be leaving the house soon. You know what I mean? Tuck your chin just a little bit for me. Perfect. I'm gonna have to build my tool collection. I might just like hire someone to come help me. You know what I mean?
Need to set up affiliate link Amazon for all the stuff we use. Even the sheets, but like sheets with affiliate link, mics with affiliate link.
Did you already stain it with the freaking coconut oil during our session the other day?
I don't know. I washed it.
I stained
sheets,
it.
I expected
It just sucks. I stained mine with coconut oil just the other day. I'm like,
well, it's also I have a darker color purple that's California, so you probably would be able to see it.
Oh, that's good. At what point did you? I mean, did you used to allow 90-minute appointments, and then you like switched over to 2 to 3?
So I worked at a chiropractor's office and was doing 30 minutes an hour because that's what the insurance would bill.
Yeah.
Then we moved into a house and it was old and run down, but it had a converted garage that was carpeted.
Mm-hmm.
And when we walked through it, my ex-wife Andrea, you're stupid. What? And I thought about it and I was like, oh wow.
Be perfect.
Yeah, like I never had a home studio because we never had an extra room.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, yeah, this would pretty much be perfect for that. It's not posh, but it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I was making my money from the office. So I worked there solidly 12 hours a week and then worked on the website, worked on the beginning of the YouTube channel. It was like 2012, so it was 10 years ago. And then started getting clients. And then because I was seeing clients in my private life for the first time,
Uh-huh.
as far as I saw outcalls, but couldn't see them in my home. I just went whole hog and I'm like, 2 hours. There was nothing else on the menu. There was no hour. There was no table. It was 2 hours or get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Mat based. And I started getting clients. Started to grow. And then I started to make so much money in private practice that it started to dwarf what I was making at the office. So I kept building the practice. I knew I was looking at teaching, so it was like making workbooks and DVDs and paying for the website and infrastructure and stuff that I needed. I just kept building and building and building until I was making so much in private practice that I couldn't afford to stay at the office.
Yeah.
And then about that time was when I added the 3 hour, like switched it over to 3 hours. Right now, what's on my menu is 3 hours or 90-minute abdominal. But my situation was different because I had income from this other thing.
Yeah.
But I was, dude, at my peak, I was so worn out.
Just working too much?
Oh, dude. If somebody canceled like a 30-minute appointment, I'd
Praise God.
go lay down on the table.
Oh.
I was so tired. Because I was working, 30 hours a week seeing clients or something crazy. Because I was trying to build.
Yeah. You're being a yes man. And
it was way more taxing working at the chiropractor's office in short chunks.
Yeah.
Than it was charging people full session.
That's why I feel like I'm more tired today from just 3 90-minute sessions. More tired than doing 2-3 hours.
Why?
I don't know why.
That's what I find as well.
It doesn't make sense, but that's how it is with chair too.
Like, to me, it's almost like speed dating.
Uh-huh.
Like if I was gonna ask you out, my preference is to have like a nice dinner, drink. Like it's a 5-course meal. You're gonna be there for 3 hours. Like I feel like there's more connection. It's more intimate. We have time to talk. The speed dating thing is like very rapid.
Yeah.
But like you can't really get to know a person with a lot of depth.
No.
And that's what I felt it did with clients. Is like I wanted that longer session. Ask you this: when you do this, do you ever worry that the guy's junk is in the way?
Yes.
And then how do you deal with that, or what do you?
I mean, I just try to make sure I keep my toes to myself. You know what I mean? Because like, have you ever felt that I've gotten close to anything to where it would make you feel uncomfortable?
No. And the thing is, like, everybody's shape and size is different. So
yeah.
I'm just wondering what your experience is as a woman. But like, I never find.
Basically,
If
I'll
I
kind of
ever,
address it face down.
if somebody ever got too close, I would just kind of push down and adjust myself.
Yeah. And that's basically what I said. I had a younger client the other day, first time, and I was just like, hey, while we're doing the hip shaking and stuff, I was like, you might find that like your bones, might pinch your skin, or, if you need to move your body around, if your groin doesn't like how I'm pushing it across, feel free to let me know and you can adjust yourself. And he's like, okay, well, let me do that real fast. And he did. I mean, even when I was working with those musicians the other day, they didn't have time to change into clothes that were better for Thai massage. So he literally got down to his boxers, and I'm like, that's fine. I just basically covered him with a pillowcase. And was like, hey, don't worry. I'm like, we don't even need to discuss or talk about why I'm doing this. I'm just going to cover you, okay? That way we don't have to, no one has to be embarrassed later or whatever. No one has to feel weird, or I just would rather not even talk about why I'm doing this. Let me just cover you up and we'll be good. You feel it more in the front or in the back?
I feel it in the back, but section more tender. They're both good, but the adductors definitely.
Is that good there?
How do you find over time like your body's adjusting to like using this?
It's good. I just I have to keep myself in check to not rely on it too much, because I'm like, you need to work on your core and your stabilizers, and I'm like trying to make sure that I'm not like relying on it too much for like leaning on. I'm always trying to like support myself more. So I want to make sure I stay strong, because like say when I went and did 7.5 hours of Thai the other day on the band, obviously I didn't have any suspension. It was just like all me.
Yeah.
And
How
so
did you feel after it?
exhausted.
Well, that's a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours. And a lot of waiting too. I didn't do a straight 7.5 hour sessions, but I was there for 7.5 hours. And I also, not to mention, I didn't have food. Because it was supposed to be a 5 hour. It was supposed to be like noon to 5, right? And then it ended up being like 7:30. So all I had was like trail mix. I know that that's why I was tired. I was tired because I hadn't had proper fuel. I was expecting my job to end 2.5 hours earlier.
I think that nature of the work being that big, better shit, very cool. Like I really think you can do this and age well.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Especially compared to table work.
Yeah, it's not weight training, it's not
No.
cardio,
No.
but like your mobility and general strength is like you got to maintain it to be able to keep.
Yeah. No, it's definitely nice to not be a slave to the ice anymore.
Yeah, I get so angry
But that's
when
normalized.
that I see threads where it's like, oh, it's like I don't know what to do. Like,
Stop overusing
you
them.
go get acupuncture, you do this, and I'm like, how is it acceptable? Ethically, how is this okay? My righteous indignation. It's like therapists hurting themselves trying to help people. Like, dude, something. What I think is hilarious is the subscribers do the work. Come into a live stream, do the work. They're like, oh my god, this is amazingly effective. They weren't doing the work.
They were just judging it.
They're just watching video. to actually do it, that's a 17-year-old kid who worked on his mom. Like, it's amazing. And I'm like, what I've been saying for 10 years.
Mm-hmm. So is the 17-year-old interested in going into massage?
I mean, I don't
Or is
know
it just like a random, like, hey, I'm gonna work on
it's a
because it's
subscriber's mom,
kid.
son. So, I mean, for me, what I think sense of it is like you're helping a mom and son connect,
Which is awesome.
and you're helping them connect physically. And the thing is, he might not think about it, but let's say he wants to date women, and now he has a background for like interacting with partners physically,
In a non-sexual way.
and like his partner has back pain.
Yeah.
It's like that's an amazing skill for somebody to pick up just because they're studying online, accessible.
Yeah.
It starts to influence the culture as a whole. That's what I saw years ago, but there's so many manifestations outside of just seeing clients. Like the Time Massage Jam is for families. Imagine mom and dad and two kids all getting together and working on each
That's awesome. I mean, that's how it was in old school, like villages and such, you know?
other. Well, that's all you had.
Mm-hmm.
You or Andrea that's in class on.
Andrew, I'm next Monday. That's why I said I could take that client on Monday. I just have to give myself days off.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
How to give yourself a day off?
Well, it's hard to say no to money.
I don't know. I guess I'm a bad girl. I like to me, it's just to have those days down are just, it's so easy for me to say no to money because to have days off is so important. Like, do I want to say no to money? No, but if I don't take my days off, I'll be so busted that I won't even be able to make money. You know what I mean? Because I'm already not getting enough body work. I'm getting one massage every other week. So it's like, can you imagine like not working 7 days a week and getting one massage every 2 weeks? Like that's insane. Would you like more pressure here? Microphone was like up in my face. A little too sharp. Better there?
Good, it was just a pitch.
Okay.
But overall, the practice.
The practice in general, my practice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel great.
Go in the direction.
Yes. 1000% going the direction I want.
Like.
Mm-hmm.
Are you making more?
Sure I am. I'm not sure. You know me, I gotta like look at all that stuff. There's some people that like know all their numbers and they, you know, I'm like, I'm a little more casual. Yeah. I just I don't like doing 90-minute sessions. It's always like the trending theme, you know, it's like, well, you had 3 different areas for me to work on. Unfortunately, we only had 90 minutes of time, you know.
Yeah.
So do you want me to give 30 minutes per set per area? Because I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, you know, have one main area I really try to focus to relieve. The second one I'm going to touch and try to warm, and the third one I'm going to touch. It's kind of how my mind breaks it down, you know. Whoa. Was I just going off the edge of you?
Did you shift?
Yeah.
Muscle rolled over my.
How am I just hopping on that? Was that right here?
Yeah, it just grabs that portion of my IT band and it roll over.
Mm.
And it's also your sacrum is real broad, so like it was pressuring it down. And
I think I was heading straight down and your leg was angled backwards.
well, this is also a little more cushioned than it is down.
Do you go all the way down?
Yeah. Depends on what they.
I have this problem. I don't even know if it's a problem, but I mean, in my mind, I always feel like I need to go to the end. Like I always need to go start to finish. For me, it's hard to stop in the middle.
Michael Arbuckle sometimes felt like the work was too. And I worked on him. Took an elbow, running my elbow.
Do that groove.
Down a lot. Oh my
How general does
He's
it
like,
feel
"I don't
now?
want this specific." But it's like, but I got to know his stuff.
Yeah.
Like you start off general.
Mm-hmm.
Like start working on some bigger cup. Yeah, it's general at first. Maybe serratus. Okay. Post here. Then it's like you work on the tissue enough to almost start separating muscle. But you can't start.
No, that'd be so overwhelming to come in just straight up elbow. I feel like I'm pounding it too much through this angle.
Nope.
You're like, keep at it.
The problems on my rotator cuff are so bad on this side. Like you have to work on it slowly until you feel like you're getting down.
It is good to know how to work the OBS software better.
Yeah, there's more to it.
It's so annoying that that's all I needed to do, and
Well,
I just didn't know, you know.
But the thing is, if I just sat down and gave you a course on it,
It'd be overwhelming.
yeah, you handle it.
Mm-hmm. It's a long delay between movement and the camera. I'd say like 4 seconds. Well, sometimes it's worse than others.
The camera's wireless.
Uh-huh.
computer has to get the signal and then shove it through assemble. New computer wouldn't be. Do you notice on my computer now, like you can't tell a difference? Like the like when you talk, your lips move in time.
On yours, yeah, it's all
because it's wired directly in one.
Your cameras are?
Yes. They're not wireless.
Oh, that would be why the camera was attached to wires.
Yes. You can't run my cameras. So my computer can also crunch all that data.
Easier because it's wired. Or just your computer's a bad mama jamba.
Dude. The computer is fucking. I don't even know what they put under the fucking hood, but I know how my computer works, and if I use somebody else's computer now.
I mean, you can look in your specs though, huh, to see what they put in there?
Yeah, but the numbers are so gargantuan.
I'm just trying. I just have to put an order in for a computer. They're not available, so I have to like special order it. That's why whenever Josh finally tells us, it'll probably still take at least a month or so to get.
Yeah.
That's what Best Buy is saying, at least, that you have to order everything online, and that they don't. The second they get anything in store, it's gone.
Yeah. I'm good for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Talk to Josh's roommate. Like, no, when I selected parts,
Oh, his roommate
I
helped?
future-proofed you. Trust me.
So he's got a super smart roommate, too.
Josh's roommate's a programmer.
Oh, gosh.
Does, like,
I love it.
gaming, so he basically built me.
Dude, I have got...
He told Josh what I was going to be doing with it. And I'm like, okay, I know what he needs.
I have a client that got the most sick setup for their at-home working. They now have a split keyboard so that they don't have to have their arms in front of them. And they have one side on the left side and one side on the right side. Yeah. It is so cool. She's been sending me photos of what she's been doing. I'm like, this is so cool. I'm like, it's so nice to have I have like 2 hardcore clients that like do what's best for them, you know? I mean, I have a lot of clients that do good stuff for them, but these 2 just like every sort of trick and toy that could help them, they buy. How often are you told that you're a badass? Robert, you are a badass.
Leave the bad off? I hear that.
No. I'm talking about like a positive compliment because of all that you do. It's pretty amazing.
The compliments will come later.
Well, I'm going to beef you up now.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. This is pretty cool.
The other thing is that, like, people think the store, like, I think Mac's wife
thought it was too money driven. Yes, I'm like,
Yeah.
we didn't go to counseling about it. It was too like I had a student. She was a yoga student. Loved Tony. As the business was growing online, she Robert, I want to help people. I just kind of feel like you talk about people like them. Like when I'm talking about subscribers,
They are numbers.
that subscriber count is like kind of how I keep score. But like, help people. Like she couldn't understand that I was helping people.
Yeah.
Way more people.
Yeah.
Like completely expand because she looked at it like she came to her yoga class. I'm like, no, like the money is kind of how we keep score. Subscriber count, kind of how we keep score. The thing is, the entrepreneur part is like, how many people can I?
Mm-hmm.
Like, can I literally? And I'm serious about this. You
Have
and
you go face up?
Andrea are likely going to be famous,
I'm down with that.
and we're going to have undue influence on what happens in our industry, and people don't see it yet. They don't understand what's going on.
Did you sheet ties last night?
Yeah.
They worked well, obviously.
Especially, it's for filming.
Yeah.
Clients, I'm not so filming it. The badass thing, having enough students, it is both. That like you're,
Mm-hmm.
and then like stuff continues to just scale out. Start. Dude, I had to ship workbooks.
That's awesome. How much did it end up costing you?
They're sending me. I don't know. I gotta find out. They're sending me emails.
Oh my god, you have to
go to Google Translate.
Oh my god, translate what they're
And
saying.
then I write a response, go to Google Translate, and then turn it into German and send it back to them.
That was
And
me.
the thing is, like,
that's awesome.
but think of like the thing is, what did Google charge me for Google Translate?
Nothing.
How did they do that?
Oh no. Mm.
Because Google built the platform.
Yeah.
Facebook built the platform. Make sense?
Yeah.
Like I use Facebook for free, but they're monetizing my data. They're putting ads in my feed, which is like I made a joke post last night. I'm like, hey, Facebook, listen, lay off the Scotch ad. Right now, I'm on beer, tequila, and gin.
That's funny.
Because I'm hoping that the algorithm will be like, oh, he said gin, show him a gin ad. Because I don't really drink Scotch in summer. I find I kind of want to drink it in winter.
Yeah.
So how many people you can help? It's like the online apprenticeship isn't just to develop a new revenue stream. The online apprenticeship is to answer individual students' questions and use that footage to teach 1,000 more students, 10,000 more students. Like with the amount of data that we crunch now, like I'm shooting 12 hours of footage.
That's crazy.
What does our subscription look like?
I don't know. What does it look like?
Like people are like, listen, I'll pay you $100 an hour to like do an online apprenticeship.
But $7 a month, too much.
Because I don't have time to dig through 600 hours of footage.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm organizing it as best I can given my current limit. Like the real focus isn't Robert's a badass. Like no, it's the next 100 students who do this shit, blow a goddamn hole marketplace. What 100 of us? What does that really look like?
Oh god, like a bleep.
100.
There's not many of it. That's out of all. Like, think of how many thousands and
What I'm
hundreds of
saying
thousands
is,
therapists are.
all over the United States, that's 2 per state. 1,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
100 of us. That's 2 per state. Now we produce video at scale. We get banned for massage therapy
Oh.
because they're going to be angry that so much video grows. Because once you get that 100, dude,
It's over.
Like I told Jennifer Brooks, I'm like, Jennifer, listen. Let's say the subscription service scales and we get 10,000 subscribers. That's $70,000 a month. She was like, oh my God. And I go, then you know what I do? Lower the subscription fee to $5 a month.
Ooh,
She's
really
like,
piss them off.
Why?
I don't need the extra $2.
Global. Global.
Say it one more time with me.
They're like, what if they don't speak English? We'll get all the transcriptions done in German.
Ooh.
We'll get all the transcriptions done in Spanish.
Let's do
We'll
it.
get all the transcriptions done in French. We'll get all the transcriptions done in Russian.
Yeah.
Like, the subscription is the beginning. Like, what I think is interesting is, if they've got the subscription, why are they buying workbooks and DVDs?
I don't know.
Why are they watching YouTube videos?
I don't know.
Why are they participating in the Facebook?
Well, because it takes more than just like one thing. They want to see a bunch of different
Why are
ways.
they doing group live streams?
That's a different way to get the information, right?
Why do they want individual apprenticeship?
Specific attention.
They want different views of the same information. To me, it's all the same information. I don't fight that they want it. What we continue to do is we develop new packages, service. Do you want this? All I did was said online apprenticeship, and 5 people were like me, and I'm like, oh, okay, wow, that was like, we're not even selling this yet, and they're signing up.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, okay. Do you take most of your payments via Venmo?
Yes.
Because Venmo doesn't take a cut?
Yes. And Venmo is most widely used. I use Venmo and Zelle mainly. I try to not use Square at all. Why?
Because someone told me recently they didn't take anything out, and I didn't realize.
Yeah, you just have to wait like 3 days. Yeah, me neither.
I mean, you know, I'm not worried about what I pay to Square. Like, it's a tax write-off, but you can avoid it. Why?
Yeah, and I don't eat that charge. I tell the client that I offer every single option that's charge free. So if they choose to use a credit card, that's just on them, and that's just a part of the service. I add it to it.
So you're charging more if they use it.
Yep. Yeah, I passed the fee. I mean, I take Facebook, Apple Pay, Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, and I spend all the time collecting all those at tax time. So it's like, if you choose, I mean, I get that some people maybe don't have cash and actual real money and they need to use a credit card. Totally fine, but you know, it's a 3.5% fee they're going to pay. Or, you know, 3.25 if we use the actual slider. Something like that. I'm crazy. After we did the Thai gym last night, I came home, did a 3-hour massage. Then after that, I went and walked 2.6 miles. I didn't actually get to bed till like 2. Very dumb. How's the pressure? Good. When is Danielle going to start with you?
We already worked on setting up.
That's cool. Where is she
She's
located?
been working with me.
Yeah.
She's just
Busy.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Life.
just life.
Wife. Mom.
Her office.
Oh, nice. So she would be good for me to work with.
Yeah, she's close.
For sure. I need to get in contact with her. Maybe I could get a massage from her, like, that other week that I'm not getting one from you or something,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy if you come get a session and pay part of the training.
Yeah. Forum?
Yeah,
or here?
No, it's like down towards my wrist has been the most intense. Occasionally, it was right in my. Whatever you were pressing on, it was run down. It was like it was tension in. Oh. Have you noticed the change in like your rebooks?
What do you mean? I get more rebooks.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
What do you think that is?
No, those are finding the work to be more helpful, actually fixing the pain, I think. Versus like the temporary, oh, I feel good. Okay, now I don't anymore. I think they're noticing like, oh, I feel a lot better.
What do you do to like walk them through the process?
Well, I could be better at it, but I do try to tell them, hey, it is best for you to be consistent with your work. Let's not waste your money. Let's continue on this unraveling of the pain. And I always try to tell them to do, 4 consecutive sessions is a great start. And then after that, focusing on just, maintaining. But oftentimes the clients like to just rebook right then and there.
So if I got people in chronic pain, I tend to do the following. Very much, I call it the honest mechanic. They have a shoulder problem. Based on what they tell me, I can look at it and go, okay, listen. You have a chronic shoulder pain. You've been at a 6 on a pain scale on a bad day, 4 on a. You've had that for over 6 months. Even before I put hands on them, I'm like, listen, it's not reasonable to think you just get 1 session to go.
Uh-huh.
My goal, you're at a 5 right now. My goal is to bring you to a 3. If I can get you to a 3, I'm happy. If you do more than that, I'm
ecstatic.
elated.
Yeah.
But I also think, and this is before I've worked on them. I'm just talking. This is the consult at the beginning of the session. I'll tell them, listen, based on my experience working on shoulder pain like this, my best guess, without putting hands on you yet, is you might need like 3 sessions. And I tell them, I'm an honest mechanic. I have no reason for you to come back in. I make all my money from people who get better and write a good Google review. And then I get more people with that chronic pain issue. And then it's like the good mechanic, the honest mechanic, people bring their car back to get the oil change and to get the brake, check on the alternator. It's not just that one time. Then I do the session. My hope is they drop more than 2 points on a scale because they're like elated. Because they're like, oh my God, he knew what he was doing. Then I say, listen, I think based again on what I said, I think 2 more sessions would be great. I think based on the 3-point reduction you had today, we did it once, we can do it again. If we can do it 2 or 3 times, I can show you how to work on yourself. I think most of your issues are soft tissue. That's what I do.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't think you have a torn labrum, or I don't have a reason to think that. I don't think you got a medical thing. I think you just have some tight muscle. At that point, I'll say, do you want to rebook in like a week or 2 weeks? And if they go, well, I'm like, okay, what about like a month? And they're like, yeah, that'd be better, or whatever.
Yeah.
That's how I steer them towards the rebook. It starts like when they come in. Makes
Very
sense?
good, yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes it'll even start with a phone consult, depending on what they're having problems with.
By the wrist?
But that honest mechanic thing, in my experience, it was the easiest way for me to be honest with clients and reasonable about expectations.
Yeah.
But often I outperform in pain relief what other therapists are doing. So they were just like,
whatever, yeah.
They don't know. I don't even know what this shit is. Like, but this shit is amazing. Where did you learn this? Whatever. Then it opened up, like they would refer people to tell friends. I mean, never to be mean to you.
Right, Robert, never be mean to me. Never, ever. Unless I deserve it, then you can be mean to me. Which sometimes I do. It is exciting that like it almost feels like overnight my feet got really flexible. You know what I mean? I know that I've been training with you for like 2-3 years now, so it definitely wasn't overnight.
Your ankle mobility increased?
Toes too. Now I do keep catching myself almost injuring my left toe. I have to be careful of that. And that all started with me being silly.
Injuring it how?
Well, it all started with me being silly and like trying to get the QL while they were facing up. And I kind of just like wedged my toe in there to try to get the QL, and I like, even though it hurt, I continued like an idiot. I went against what you tell us, don't do anything that hurts. And then so then it was injured, and then I went snowboarding, and boom, it was like better, right? I guess because of all the, being bound and then like working everything above it and stuff, all better. But yeah, sometimes I'll feel like kind of like, ooh, okay, don't do that.
And if you have a problem with something, 1, we can work on it. 2, you can like learn to work around.
Yeah.
Kind of almost like maintain your own mobility and strength. We have so many tools available, it means we can completely change.
Yeah, if something's not working, you keep doing it. Yeah, but I did feel myself like kind of almost hurt myself 2 days ago working on a client, putting him up on my feet. And it was just like, oh shoot, too much weight, mayday, mayday. I like slowly backed out. I was like,
You push their head and shoulders forward to take the weight. You can also use lots of props and bolsters. So the pressure back.
ooh, and then like put them underneath their back, support more.
Because if you lift them higher, it's not bending your toes back.
Mm. How's the side feel?
So this side to me feels normal.
No issues, no
Like
sensitivities,
there's muscle tension and stuff where you dig and it feels good, but it feels normal.
Yeah.
Like it have the tension.
So funny when the lag catches up, or when I'm like, zzz, it's like looks like I'm like just like hardcore massaging the shit out of you in 1 second, you know?
Have you looked at this, like watch the recording to see if it looks like it lags or?
I need to. I will this time.
Because it might be the computer, the video card can't keep up, but the actual recording doesn't.
Oh.
Maybe. Let's check and see. It's been so long since I've used it, I don't.
All right, I'm gonna this. Are you okay with me really filling my water real fast? So, and we have water. Are you doing okay on water? Good. Muy bien. Is one side of your neck versus the other bothering you? Does it relate with your Shoulder cuff on the left, anything like that? No.
I got more, kind of damage probably on the left side, but
From the
right side
accident?
is just as tender.
Yeah. I'm gonna have you move that way just like a hair.
This?
Mm-hmm. Perfect. No mas. Shouldn't have had you move, huh? Yeah, weech. Hold your head there for a minute. I'm just gonna pull up. I feel like I'm low enough for you. Would you like me to go a little lower? Okay. Get you in a little spot. I don't know how to do that without making sound effects. It's part of the.
The sound effects are awesome. That's in your videos. then people start watching it and mimicking you, and then they make the same sound effect.
Mhm. Do you like when I go up and down, or do you prefer when I go side to side right now?
I kind of like a mixture of both, but
Good.
I find that the side to side gets my vertebrae, like the muscles around my spine, relax and like this like undulating motion. Like,
Yeah, it's a good opener.
makes my spine start.
Too much on the bones?
Super tense.
That's a little better.
Than before?
Yeah, I felt like the pillow had your head all cranked up.
No.
It was good.
No.
Okay.
This whole area. I've spent 30, 45 minutes on there. My spine is
Mm.
this shit.
I feel weird if my toes got kind of caught up in your shirt. Is it fine? I'm just gonna undo them.
All the pressure on there.
We're on our way up.
Your left dominant.
Yes.
So you got more control.
Yeah. Dang, now that you say that, I can feel it.
It's subtle. Most
Very
people wouldn't be able to pick up on it.
Both sides again. Probably more height on
sorry, I pulled your hair. It hurt?
It's
Good. Lift your head up for me. Leave it. These sheets are driving me crazy today. Sorts of bunching up. Back just. Damn, step on your hair again.
tie it up again if you need.
That's okay, I'll just stop stepping on you. Like a big jerk. Without pulling your hair. That's a score. Okay. It feels so good to learn the system a little better. To now be able to handle that problem when it happens. Thank you for teaching me that.
Yeah, it's in a way it's funny because
It seems so easy.
It's simple.
But it's like when you have no idea and there's like all these options, you're like,
yeah, that's
where do I
the
start?
thing. OBS, that software, dude. There's so many pieces of control it gives you, but that's its downside as well because stuff can easily like not work
Shift,
or break
yeah.
or
Yeah, we're gonna have to check my streaming too. I have to have you show me how to redo that again because I think it misplaced my stream ID or whatever it is. Did it feel like I was too high?
not for me.
Oh my gosh, let's go ahead and rotate
You?
the other side.
Sure.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and set these up here. Should be good placement for you. Everything feel good so far?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Really good. You'll notice over time I normally quiet down
Yeah.
because I get so lost in what.
Ooh, let me remove this keyboard off this arm. It's not going to work. Will not work there. You notice I kind of changed my tripods around. I got rid of that little one because it was just like I'd have to use my singing bowls and like waist them up in such a weird way. Yeah. I found it was better just to use the 3 actual tripods I had. You see the screen?
And I guarantee you, if you
Watch back, it won't do that.
that's my guess. Yeah, the graphics card on the computer.
Now as we're working and I can feel that I'm hot, right? Do you feel like our contact in our arms is too like because I'm too hot?
No,
You can't feel how warm I am?
I feel a little.
Really?
But I'm on the ground and
Would you like a blanket?
nope. I'm not that. I mean, I'm cool.
There you go, you're not cold. This morning was my client that has been like Like she was really nervous talking because she was so nervous about Thai massage, right?
Yeah.
It was a little sweaty and clammy, like it was really interesting. And then I get to working on this because she's a tennis player, right?
Yeah.
She's like, oh my God, no one's ever done that. And I was like, but you told them you played tennis? You know? Yeah. I know. Don't know why they don't do it, but they don't.
Sideline. They're not using primary position.
Mm-mm.
Also, if people are draped, this position. My solution was just
Yeah, just keep the clothes on.
that's why Danielle wants it.
Drape is easy. But I'm like a draping queen.
I never
I mean, I didn't enjoy it, but I could drape the shit out of you and never expose you. You know what I mean?
yeah. You know,
Has it subsided or is it still?
it's there for a second and then
Okay.
like I'm surprised it's this side
Yeah.
because it
Never is like that on this
never
side.
hurts me as you're
The epic sheet fail.
epic what?
Sheet fail. Those sheets.
Oh.
Because none of these are not kings. These are like queens. And I should have like had them to the edge and then tucked them better. It's a work in progress. It's like the things that I'm still perfecting at this point in my career, you know? Do you like when I do this, like kind of like opening it? Okay, good. I'm like welcoming it.
Serratus.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Serratus, because it's on the side, is kind of hidden. It's a muscle that's pulling people's shoulder blade forward, which everybody has a problem with.
Yeah.
Everybody always thinks.
Yeah. And that's how the sheets get all funky because I put my legs behind me. Like I'm in, what's that pose? I guess pigeon pose. I kind of go pigeon. Where are you gonna do your yoga at? You do the pure yoga?
When I'm ready to go.
One right there at Anderson or whatever. Is there one closer to us? That's it, isn't it?
Cedar Park, if you
Screw that.
too cool for Cedar Park now.
I mean, I'd rather not go over there. It's just too far.
Yeah.
And that area gets so much more hail than.
I don't know what the yoga's like days. I don't know if they're still following Vikram's.
Right? Since he's been.
What I was used to. I don't know. We'll see.
Does he still own all that?
No.
He got basically whenever he got taken into.
Long story short, one of the women who sued him, they gave his empire to her.
Stop.
And
wow.
it destroyed everything. She's probably collected very little, if any, money.
Really?
Because Bikram went out of the country, and he's now running his thing like in Mexico and other places outside of U.S.
So he basically escaped any sort of penalties.
But I mean, no,
he can't leave now.
I mean, it crippled his.
Yeah.
He's still making money, I'm sure, and surviving, but it's not like it was before.
Need a little more support. You look like you're kind of dangling. Kind of like Snowden. It's like Snowden's stuck in like what, Russia?
Yeah.
It's like though he does not have to. It's like it's not really a place you want to get stuck. Can't even travel. Stuck in Russia.
I'm hoping they'll do a presidential pardon eventually.
For Snowden?
Yeah.
Who the hell will do that?
Somebody with a sense of justice and ethics in America.
Yeah. We're gonna get one of those as a president.
The amount of time has passed where they realize that.
Well, first off, y'all shouldn't be sneaking in and watching us in those 8 ways.
The bulk of what he did was actually good for the American.
Yeah.
The
government doesn't see that way.
Well, if we want to make it more relatable, we can just find Jimmy who got, put in jail for 2 joints for 10 years. Hey, bro, really? Like, 2 joints?
Who got put in jail for 2 years?
Nobody.
Oh, you're just saying figuratively.
Just, like, cannabis laws. It's like,
yeah.
Now you can go to states and every time
there's people still serving
every time I go to a
sentences.
dispensary, I'm freaked out. I'm just like, dude, like, this is legal? I'm like, oh my God. like I grew up in the just say no era in school.
Yeah.
Just say no t-shirt in elementary school. Crack. Now marijuana is like going to goddamn Starbucks.
It is.
I want the Kush number 5 Haze OG. I'm like, weed has names now? Wow.
It's fancy.
I follow Snowden on Twitter. Watch a lot of documentary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I was told that searching Twitter hashtags and reaching out to people was stalking by a well-received colleague in the industry.
You're like, that's the whole point.
The same lady who, called me a misogynist, mansplaining asshat and writes articles on professional ethics and fucking massage.
This lady sounds like such a dream.
That's stalking.
No,
and I literally posted a photo of Ed Snowden and a photo of the Constitution and a photo of the American flag. And I'm like, so it's okay when big business does it, but when I do it, it's stalking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. She's just a hater.
She's like, that's stalking. That's using people's information. I'm like, it's information
that's
they
publicly
chose to put on their profile as their hashtag.
Yeah.
Like, you fuckers are living in the dark ages. Like, go back to your fucking yellow pages and leave me alone.
Couldn't believe that. Stalking. I mean, the industry is not adapted to technology.
No.
And you know, you'll talk to one therapist and they're like, I get tons of clients off Instagram. Somebody else is like, social media doesn't.
Ha! You're not working it.
I mean, the biggest challenge isn't teaching students the body work. The biggest challenge is getting students to make video and start posting to social media. That's what makes the big. It's not just the body. Just the body work is half.
Yeah, that's the part they forget.
Well, I mean, it comes out of left field. It's not really. We're not dealing with an industry of people who are going into business. They were going into.
Yeah.
They're not interested. I get the sense that they want to work hands-on with people and be. They want to have these deep connections with magically clients. I think that's a much smaller sampling, much smaller percentage of.
How's it feel through here? Yeah, it's tight. God, so nice to have 3 working cameras and a microphone. My mind instantly went to that song. Got 2 turntables and a microphone.
We can't afford to get back to be our DJ yet.
Come on back. How's that pressure there? Crazy, you totally can't even see the elbow moving in the video. Cool. Go ahead and tuck that chin for me. How's that pressure there?
spot in your
Kind of, yeah, a little bit. That's just a hard place to work. I feel it's my left QL or my left quad. Like when I was doing that Bulgarian split thing, I just feel like I knotted up in my left calf and it was pulling down on my QL on the left and like SI joint and all that stuff because it like knotted up. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? There I go, one. I'll try to not roll you this time. Pressure okay? 16 years.
Moving.
No. No consideration to moving. There's nowhere else in Texas I would want to live. I have so many connections here, you know? Why you ask?
Some people I was working with talking about going on.
It's the best city in Texas. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. Houston's too hot. Dallas, those are not my type of people. They're just a little too prim and polished all the time and extra, you know what I mean? Fancy. I'm kind of a casual chick that likes to get fancy every once in a while, but not always, you know? And then are there really any other options besides those 2, 3 options?
San Antonio,
Yeah, hell no, they're always under construction. Go on.
Brownsville.
Definite negative. Never ever would I ever move to Brownsville. Is that by the border by El Paso? Or is that by McAllen? Yeah, never in a million years would I move down there. Number 1, I know 0 Spanish, so I would be fish out of water. Number 2, it's also very hot and humid with big mosquitoes. I grew up on the Texas coast. It is not a fun place. My hair is like, nah. You think it's frizzy now? You should see me down in a coastal city.
I think all the other major cities have. I complain about Austin and Austin.
Yeah. I mean, everyone that lives in Dallas is pretentious. That's the problem there.
Austin.
I know, but every single person that lives in Dallas is pretentious, in my opinion.
Dallas is offered like Houston. Everybody's like, no, Austin. Austin is.
Dude, in Dallas traffic, have you driven with the...
from Texas.
Oh, hell no.
I'm from. That's the. Wow.
Yeah, but if you've ever driven on the roads in Dallas, it's like not only are they like, boom, there's your exit, but like the drivers are crazy and the traffic, it's like if you get mixed up and miss your loop, you're 15, 20 minutes of traffic.
It's a bigger city.
Yeah, no.
Garbage. Like,
Yeah.
Houston has a big developed food scene.
Yeah, that's what it has.
Property value.
True. Luckily, I already bought, so I'm okay. They raised property taxes too high, but for now, I'm good.
I think that there's something like quick up. I don't understand.
Because none of those cities you listed have the outdoor activities like we do, or the concerts like we do. I mean, sure they have concerts. Houston does, okay. Houston does, but only if you're talking concerts, not outdoor activities.
So, what sort of outdoor activity?
Lake, swimming.
There's no aquifers in parts of Texas.
Not as much.
Because I've never been in the entire 10 years I've lived in Austin, other than Barton. Never been on any of these rivers.
Have you seen what Barton Creek looks like right now?
No.
It is flooded. Go ahead and go on our back. It's actually shut down right now just because it's like brown water. Yeah.
And these young guys, they were like, I think they'll drive my bike.
Yep.
That was their or to buy a house. Like that's only one facet.
Yeah. I mean, it does suck that the housing market is like completely unreasonable for anyone trying to start their life off. Like that does suck.
And I'm not just trashing Austin. Like I live here. Live here for a reason.
Yeah.
Like Austin was pared back. But I've been to all those other cities. Like, Austin,
No way, bro.
even
No way.
McAllen was nice.
No. Negative. I do have to go see my hairstylist down in McAllen, but I don't want to. I have zero desire to go to the border towns.
Brownsville.
How so?
Completely culture. Texas.
Really?
Yes. Coastline, palm tree.
Tacos galore. Right? Yeah. Tacos galore. You're on the border of Mexico.
And way better tacos than
Well, yeah.
and everywhere else. No, Austin has tacos.
No, it's a bunch of white people making tacos in Austin.
Yeah, okay, bro. I'll let you think. All right. Because I used to hear it all the time. The tacos are better San Antonio and South. And I'm like I grew up in Baton Rouge. I'm like, all right. Hey, like I moved to Austin. There's taco everything. Tacos. I went to San Antonio and South and went, the tacos are better in San
Well, of course, because there's a larger percentage of Hispanic people in San Antonio and Brownsville who, in my opinion, no offense to the Caucasians, make better tacos than Caucasians.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it was different. It was definitely different in Brownsville. Like cultural nuance.
Oh, yeah. They probably use hella better seasonings and like making things from scratch versus a lot of places in Austin that use store-bought tortillas, which is like the worst. Yeah. The best part about a taco is the tortilla. Yeah. And if they're mainly buying packaged tortillas here, then yeah, of course.
So like San Antonio has like a grittier, like industrial sector that I relate.
Yeah.
And it's like got a culinary art school, so their restaurant scene is booming. In addition to like this, you always feel like you go see a punk band. Alamo.
Yeah.
It's just something about it. I had a friend I was talking to, and he said that San Antonio is south because
exactly.
Like a lot of white people don't want to move. I was like, what? He's like, he basically was like, I think it just makes white people uncomfortable.
To be a minority or something?
Yeah. And I'm like, dude.
You're a minority in Austin too, though.
When I go.
I mean, I am in my neighborhood.
Minority to who?
I'm a minority to my Indian neighbors. There's like, I only have like a small handful of Caucasian neighbors that are white, very small amount that are Asian, Houston, and very small amount that are black. We're majority
Dallas,
of Indian here.
Houston and Dallas, way more diverse.
Oh, yeah.
Way more diverse.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And like, I was actually speculating with my friend. I'm like, is the reason I don't like Austin because of white people?
Maybe.
Like, is that it? Because the other cities like are more like diverse.
There's more culture there.
The answer.
Cities and moving somewhere. Tacos.
Oh, so I was explaining to him, like, even from a food perspective, I kind of like going to the taco truck, speaking very little Spanish, and like
watching whatever else is getting and
reading it off the menu, and then like ordering. Like, to me, there's a kind of a little adventure.
I agree. I see what you mean by that.
Yeah, but I can understand why some people find it like kind of off-putting. Whatever. And to me, I'm like, it's authentic.
I mean, if I was going to visit, I wouldn't mind it, but I would definitely, before I moved to a different place, if it was like Miami or the Texas coast where I need to know Spanish, like that would suck to go there and to like not be able to speak the main language of the area, you know? I definitely wouldn't want to just hop up and go. I'd want to learn first. How are you feeling?
Good. Done for today?
Yeah, we're done. How's the cuff?
Oh, that's good. Go back.
Okay.
Tend to prefer like forward. Yeah, and I mean, I only know what I've seen. But like, all the people who are like the nature stuff and all,
Uh-huh.
just kind of. I'm allergic to Austin.
What?
Like, I literally want to fucking leave so I can stop getting clear.
Oh, I see what you mean. I was like allergic to Austin. Oh yeah, I get it. The cedar and stuff. Honestly, sometimes I'm good, and some years I'm not. But typically, it's like only like a week or two, or a day or two. You know, not much. Lucked out.